Good morning. It is Kirsten Liebelt. How are you doing today? Jump on in. Good to see you. I'll remember right away. If you're on the replay, tell me you're on the replay and tell me where you're coming in from. There, see, I'm getting better all the time. How are you doing? It's good to see you. So I am going to, I won't be here tomorrow. So Friday, October 3rd is tomorrow the 3rd. Tomorrow's the 4th. Tomorrow's the 4th. I won't be here tomorrow the 4th. I'll be on a road trip, baby. I'm going to go because I'm in Minnesota, if you did not know that. I'm going to go from Minnesota to Louisville, Kentucky with a van full of friends, and we're doing a business conference. And so we're going to go halfway tonight. We used to never do that. This is a major treat. But we do have a baby on board. So this is going to be very good. Basically, we're going to go to, where are we going, honey? Davenport? But where are we stopping? And is that Iowa? We're going to stop in Davenport, Iowa. All of my Iowa people, my Iowa customers, you guys. We're going to go to Davenport, Iowa and stay the night. And then we're going to go to Louisville, Kentucky for the business conference. Very excited. Isn't it fun sometimes just to break up your routine? Seriously, honestly. And so remember yesterday I was trying to think like, what in the world am I going to bring for snacks? And I decided, I made the coconut cookies. So if you're in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, when you get in there, you get tagged in a PDF that are recipes, snack, and pantry. And one of the recipes are these coconut flour cookies. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. To me, it's a base kind of a cookie that you're using coconut flour with. And the number one thing you have to know about coconut flour is that it's very fibrous. So that means that like for a cup and a half of coconut flour, you have like 6 eggs, which is a lot. I have to do this over here on TikTok. There we go. So it's a lot. And there's like a cup of butter, but it's kind of this base flavor that you can add other flavors to. So this time, sometimes in the past, I've added like cake batter. This time I did almond, because who doesn't like a good almond cookie? Anyway, so that's a part of my snacks today. And I found a really good sugar-free beef jerky. Is it Tillamook? I think the brand is Tillamook, and it's dawning on me right now as I am talking to you. If I'm right, hey, Carrie, would you go look at that? If that's right, when you're at Costco and I wonder if it's the same company. When you're at Costco, I'm going to show them. There's a cheese that is super amazing at Costco. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And it's Tillamook. This is literally a revelation in my world right now. Oh, I have to be careful. I can't hold things up on TikTok. I don't know why. Tillamook. There we go. But it's 0 sugar. The ingredients really weren't that janky. They literally have a gluten-free soy sauce with the beef. And then beef broth. Oh, they do have you never know. But super not bad. So for a road trip, we don't go for perfection. We go for progress. And this, I was like, what the world? So anyway, there's a little tip for you for today, because I wonder if that's the same company. They do make a really good cheese, by the way. And it's in the section. It's not in the refrigerated section where you open up the doors. It's in the section where they do all of their high-end cheeses. And there you go. I love that cheese. Anyway, so we're going to do our little road trip. So yesterday, Julie, who I don't know if she's going to jump on today or not. I'm going to look and see if she's on. Julie from Instagram. I don't see her yet. She asked me about, Chomps is a good brand too. Yeah, Chomps is a good brand. But now, Lori, those are more like beef sticks or whatever. I could have grabbed those. That's a good idea. But my husband really likes a jerky. And I don't know if Chomps makes a jerky or if they just make beef sticks. So he's a jerky guy. But yes, thanks for reminding me about, because I bet my daughter probably grabbed Chomps. She usually does. But anyway, Julie asked me yesterday, what do I think about natural flavorings? And I'm like, good morning, Magda. Good to see you. I'm like, well, I already know that there's like that's how they hide things in our food. I get it. But I had never just looked it up and really spent a minute to pay attention to that. And, as we talk about insulin resistance, as we talk about metabolic syndrome, as we talk about, good morning, Cheryl. Cheryl, I have something going out to you. I'm just telling you, something's coming in the mail. It's going to go out today. And I, this is what I know. And I call it, you guys, sometimes I know that I feel like a broken record, but the truth is that when we have gotten our bodies to a certain place of not functioning well, we have to not only fix what got us into the pickle to begin with. That's the food ingredients that I talk about all the time. Meaning you can't keep doing what you've been doing, right? You can't take supplements and expect them to override a McDonald's lifestyle 3 times a day, including the fries and the shakes, and it just doesn't work that way, because you have an internal engine conversation going on and things are not firing properly. Things are not communicating. The communication is breaking down between your cells, etc. And that's why we have communication breakdowns between our gut and our brain. And how we're doing our gut reset right now. Who's doing their gut reset? Did anybody take their primer this morning? I just got done taking my primer and my probiotic. And that's why we have to reset things. That's why we have to shift things. So having said that, knowing that our internal engine, maybe it has really old oil and it's not very good. Yippee, she says, I know. Maybe we are just not firing and communicating. So adding a lot of other ingredients that could be adding to that is not very good. So let's just break this down a tiny bit. This is what I was able to find about natural flavors. It doesn't mean automatically that every single thing is good job, Magda. Magda took her gut primer. Yay! That's so exciting. And then there's another product that Magda tested for me. I'm not going to tell you guys about it now because I don't want to get into the weeds. Anyway, it is a product. I had her test it because of her sugar. She takes her sugars, and I wanted to know if it was going to spike sugars. It did not. That's the spoiler alert. But it is a product that helps to lessen your waist and your hips. And everybody around me is very excited. We're all getting results and going, is this really happening? Okay, I digress. So natural flavors doesn't automatically mean it's bad. But let's talk about what it is, okay? So natural flavors could be contributing to metabolic syndrome, and this is kind of how this connection comes in. And remember, metabolic syndrome is when you have a cluster of issues. Maybe you have type 2 and heart disease and fatty liver, or you've got a cluster. Insulin resistance is it can be used interchangeably for a lot of different things, but my insulin resistance started in my 20s. It showed up with my pregnancies. And then I didn't do anything about it until my 40s. And in the middle, at 30, my dad died of type 2 diabetes. So this has been my lifelong conversation or journey to understand all of the different terminologies, because things kind of get weird, right? So you could be barely insulin resistant, not even know it. And all you know is that you can't lose weight like you used to be able to lose weight, and you're frustrated. Or you could be insulin resistant and you are you have a metabolic syndrome going on. You've got many factors going on and potentially several medications going on with it. Okay. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you. Good morning. So that's what that looks like. So natural flavors could contribute to metabolic syndrome indirectly by promoting the consumption of processed foods that are high in sugar, unhealthy fats, and refined carbohydrates, key drivers of metabolic syndrome. So remember when we were talking about the nutrition roundtable, and they were talking about how they made food addictive. Good morning, Kristen. Good to see you. They've made food addictive, and they have done that so that we will just keep eating more and more and more, obviously. And so those are the foods usually that are created for addiction. They're created so that we can't eat just one, all of that stuff. And most of those are the ones that would have the nasty natural flavors that we're going to talk about. So hidden sugars and unhealthy ingredients are in processed foods. We know this. Foods containing natural flavors are often processed and calorie dense. With hidden sugars, trans fats, and refined carbs, consistent consumption of these foods can lead to weight gain, increased blood sugar levels, and high cholesterol, which are all components of metabolic syndrome. Overeating due to enhanced taste. Natural flavors are engineered to enhance the taste of foods, making them more appealing and addictive. This can cause overeating, leading to excess calorie intake and subsequent weight gain and obesity, which are central in the development of metabolic syndrome. Insulin resistance. Processed foods rich in simple carbohydrates and unhealthy fats can contribute to insulin resistance, a key factor in metabolic syndrome. The refined ingredients in foods with natural flavorings can cause repeated blood sugar spikes and high insulin levels, leading to metabolic dysfunction. Disruption of satiety signals. I think that this is a piece that we really have to kind of think about. If you have miscommunication going on inside of your body and your brain's not being told when you're full, your body's not understanding that you are satiated, that you are like, you feel nourished, you're missing that signal, that's literally a piece of the puzzle. Flavor enhancing foods can disrupt the body's natural satiety signals. So see, you're sitting around thinking you are just a loser, maybe, and thinking that you just don't have willpower, or you're just thinking that you're a big eater, or you are, whatever. Most of the time there's an unkind thought process going on in your head towards the fact that you are just hungry all the time or you're wanting to eat all the time, right? So, but it's literally disrupting your body's natural satiety signals, making it difficult to feel full and promoting overconsumption, which, by the way, I did a reel last night on, I think I'm posting it today. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. If you see it, you see it. But it's talking about how when you're insulin resistant, you crave those carbs and those sugars, and your body is literally pushing you to eat more because it's trying to stabilize your blood sugar. So do you understand? If you can get to the core of some of this conversation, you will no longer beat yourself up. You'll no longer look at things as being as a life of deprivation. You'll look at things as a life of, oh, I'm going to change the way my body's signaling. This isn't about beating yourself up. This is about shifting the way that your body is feeling satiated and full. And does that make sense? Like, I am so convinced, you guys, that anybody who will listen long enough to me or somebody else talk about how this is a biological conversation. It's a hormonal conversation. This is not about you being a loser conversation, or you just not having willpower, or, whatever it is, whatever mean things you tell yourself. It's not about that. So we do have to deal with that. But this is literally like things are engineered for a reason. So this can lead to continuous snacking on unhealthy foods, further driving weight gain and insulin resistance, both hallmarks of metabolic syndrome. Okay. And then the last one is inflammation and gut health. The additives and chemicals and natural flavorings, along with processed food consumption, may promote inflammation. This is why we're resetting our gut, you guys. If you haven't jumped on the bandwagon for that, you're not too late. 10 days right now, first 10 days of October, first 10 days of November, first 10 days of December. We've got a gut primer and a probiotic. Split the gut primer up into 3 resets. Get 3 resets out of 1 container. Add a probiotic for the entire month. And then let's go. Let's spend the holidays resetting our guts instead of like going instead of crashing into New Year's day 1, January 1, 2025, instead of crash landing. We can literally land on our feet and go boo. Anyway, I visualize that, man. I know I'm weird. It's okay. The additives and chemicals and natural flavorings, along with processed food consumption, promotes inflammation and negative gut health. Chronic inflammation, which is a key factor in the development of metabolic syndrome as it disrupts the body's metabolic processes. Seriously. In short, by promoting the consumption of processed, nutrient poor foods, natural flavors can indirectly fuel the conditions that lead to metabolic syndrome. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty of what they are. What is natural flavoring? So it's a controversial ingredient that sounds healthy. Do you see how they've made it sound healthy? It's natural. They make it sound healthy, but it can be misleading. And here's a detailed breakdown. So natural flavoring refers to any flavor derived from a natural source, plants, animals, or other biological materials. According to the FDA, these flavors must originate from a natural source, but that doesn't mean that they are inherently good or healthy. In its purest form, natural flavoring can be benign and safe. However, the term natural doesn't always guarantee purity or health benefits. Companies may extract natural flavors using, this is where it gets nasty, using chemical solvents, preservatives, and additives, which could counterbalance any natural benefit. In some cases, natural flavorings might be safer than artificial ones, but their processing and chemical alterations make them less ideal. Isn't that? So we just ruin everything. That's why we can't have nice things. Roseanne, the primer. Let's see. How can I get you that information? You're on TikTok. So the primer is it's a gastrointestinal primer. It has 6 blends in it to help prime your gut like you would prime a wall for painting or your face for makeup. Phenomenal. And the testimonies are crazy pants. And I can break the gut reset down here in just a few minutes as to what we're doing. But the short answer is, in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, we are doing a gut primer in the morning along with a probiotic. I have 2 probiotic choices. Amazing testimonies of the bloating, the impacted waist moving right along, if you know what I mean. People not taking over-the-counter help for that. Energy, heartburn gone, etc. It's really good. Okay. So the different names for natural flavorings, they can appear under different various names, which can be confusing. Here are some of the most common labels. Natural flavors, that's a given, right? Organic flavors, when it's derived from an organic source, fruit extracts or essences, vegetable extracts, essential oils, spice extracts, distillates. So why could natural flavoring be bad? Here we go. There's a lack of transparency, number 1. So manufacturers are not required to disclose the specific source of the natural flavor, making it hard to know what you're consuming. Additives and solvents. Even though the source is natural, the extraction process can involve chemicals like propylene glycol, preservatives, or flavor enhancers, which are not listed individually. Good morning, Wendy. You're loving the gut primer and the probiotic. Your bloating is better. Yay. I had a really great testimony the other night. She said, literally, I'm wrapping up she's wrapping up her 3rd week. Her jeans are fitting and she is like so happy. And then she told me, I posted it in the group. She was talking about being regular and how she wasn't. She was going every 4 days. Now she's going every day. Anyway, that's just it's a huge benefit. So additives and solvents like the propylene glycol and stuff, that's not good. I mean, I think we all know that already. But now there could be potential allergens. So some natural flavors come from ingredients like dairy, soy, or wheat, which can be problematic for people with food allergies or sensitivities. So think about somebody who is trying to be, gluten-free or wheat-free, etc. And oftentimes, this is the next one, the hidden animal products. So natural flavors can be animal derived, which may be a concern for vegans or vegetarians. And then there's no nutritional value. While natural flavors are meant to enhance taste, they offer no nutritional benefits and can make highly processed foods seem healthier than they are. So again, it goes back to the marketing, you guys. If they're telling you that something that's ultra processed is healthy, they're just lying to you. Lulu, you need it too. Definitely reach out to me. So this is the Tickety Talk. You have to either jump over to IG There's an icon on my page, on my profile, and you can click it and it will literally like shuttle you over to IG, just like if you were like, beam me up Scotty or whatever, and they're communicating, whatever that is, you can shuttle right over to Instagram, get into my inbox, and I'll get you the gut primer or there's a number on my profile and you can text me about that and I will get you information. And the gut reset is one primer and then you pick one probiotic. And we're doing this October, November, December, so that you can land on your feet in January. That's the whole purpose of this, so that people can get going better. Hi, Carla. Good to see you. Good to see you. Excellent. It's so fun. So fun that we're all doing something at the same time. So common foods that contain natural flavoring. Natural flavors are found in a wide variety of processed and packaged foods. So natural flavoring is not in an egg. It's not in a steak. Now, I'm not saying that you wouldn't go to a restaurant and they haven't injected meat with something, or fried it in seed oil or something, whatever. I get that. But if you just go and you buy a ribeye steak and you make it at home on your grill, there's no natural flavoring unless you have used a seasoning or a spice that has natural flavoring in it. So if you're just using salt, pepper, and garlic powder, right? So if you eliminate, this is why I tell people, the number one thing to eliminate that will eliminate so many of your issues, including your sugar spiking, which calls on more insulin, which keeps you overweight, is grain. Grain. If you get rid of grain, if you get rid of grain, you're going to get rid of the exacerbation of your insulin resistance, but then you're also going to get rid of all of the chemicals that were sprayed on the grain, but then you're also going to get rid of all of the processed foods that they are lying to you about and telling you that they are healthy. Which by default, then if you're eating more real food, like you have ground beef and then you have an egg, like one ingredient thought process, I have a chicken sausage, and usually you can find good brands that don't have all sorts of crap in them. And we've talked about that before. I'm going to eat an egg. I'm going to have a steak. I'm going to have, like just a piece of chicken. I'm going to have, some asparagus. I'm going to have, not the conglomeration of a prepackaged, what is it? Dr. Bickman says, no boxes, no bags, no boxes, no barcodes. No bags, no boxes, no barcodes. It makes your life so easy. If you can get to the other side of this conversation and realize how much freedom there is on the other side, instead of holding on to the lies and the marketing that they're telling you, God, you guys, living in that kind of freedom, it makes life so easy. It's so streamlined. It's really, really nice. So the common foods, snacks, beverages, desserts, packaged meals, cereals, and granola bars. Snacks, beverages, desserts, packaged meals, cereals, and granola bars. That's how easy it is to just avoid so much of the crap that they're trying to get into our bodies. It really is a streamlined thought process. Eat real food. Stop letting them demonize the real food. You're not eating a steak that is filled with MSG unless you are adding the MSG. You're not eating a bad egg. Well, you could, but you know what I'm saying? Like I do like my farm fresh eggs, but I'm just saying, like, we can stop this cycle so much easier than we think it is. And that was a big thing for me, you guys. I thought everything was going to be so hard. I thought everything was going to be so mountainous. And that's why I actually didn't trade out my food first. Because I thought, oh, this is going to be so hard. I'm Italian. Don't you know? Don't you know who I am? Don't you understand how hard this is? And I thought everything was going to be so hard. And then I found out, oh, actually, this is super simple. When you get down to the very base of this, well, I can do a lot with those choices of ingredients in my pantry and my fridge. I can do a lot. You wish you could start, but you have to stop all supplements and non-prescriptions for 2 weeks before your surgery. Yes, you do. You will catch up to everyone next year. Of course you will, Cheryl. And you know what? No big deal, right? That is the way that goes, But now guess what? You have in your pocket, you have the ability to actually have a key, like you can pull a key out of your pocket. You know now how to heal from your surgery. You now know how to properly like feed your body after your surgery. Do you know how important that is to realign everything after you've had anesthesia, after you've had scripts, after you've had huge, especially your liver and your gut? Like, love your liver and your gut, especially after anesthesia. It's one of the main reasons to always try to avoid surgery when we can. Like, I don't know that, I mean, elective surgery, like if you're having a lot of, like, if I could choose to have a lot of plastic surgery, like, God, there are so many, we all have things that we want to fix or whatever. But what stops me just in terms of like some of that stuff, like I'm like, I don't want the anesthesia, right? But we can flush it. If we're mindful, we can flush it through our bodies faster. So I'm really happy about that. Same here. Italian and pasta and bread are my faves. I know. It is the way that it is. What's your number one piece of advice to heal your gut? I would have to say that because of the way that we eat, because of the way that we have treated our bodies, I'm actually going to say, I'm going to talk about the gut primer. But the reason, well, number one, you have to stop doing what gets you into the pickle to begin with. You cannot heal your gut if you're just taking massive amounts of ibuprofen every day. If you're just eating everything with seed oils constantly, and if you're constantly putting glug, glug, glug into your gut that is inflammatory into your gut, you can't heal your gut. Like, you have to pause the train wreck of what's going in order to be able to get the inflammation to simmer down, because the inside of your gut is, most of the time, everybody that knows they've got gut issues, which is a high incidence, it's the inflammation in the lining of your gut. And then secondarily, to the people who are on my content, if you're on my content, if you are insulin resistant, like, that's my journey, that's my story, this is what I talk about every day. Insulin resistance leads to leaky gut. So you have this cycle going on where you are insulin resistant, it's creating gut issues, and then the gut issues are creating nutrient deficiencies, and then the nutrient deficiencies are fueling the insulin resistance, and you're doing this and you're going round and round and round. And sometimes it is such a simple conversation of nutritional deficiencies, like, how can it be this simple and we're not being told? That's how I think sometimes. How can it be this simple and we don't know? Right? So, having said all of that, once you know that and you're aware of that, when I talk to people about, like, okay, if you stop the train of seed oils going into your body, and seed oils are everywhere, canola oil and soybean oil, and it's everywhere. It's in snacks, beverages, desserts, packaged meals, cereals, granola bars. It's in all of our prepackaged food. I mean, it's everywhere. And we have been sold up the river, being told that vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil is good for us. When you go to Costco, you see one little bottle of olive oil, and then you see vats of vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil that the restaurants buy, because that's what they're cooking your food in. But the chemical solvents that are used to create those oils, you're not pressing an olive and getting olive oil. They are literally creating a rancid mess, and then they are cleaning it up with solvents, and they're making it a nice golden color, and then they're selling it to you on a shelf, and you are inflaming your gut every time you're eating it, every time you're using Crisco, every time you're eating Chick-fil-A sauce. Every condiment is just trash unless you're super, like, you pay attention because of the seed oil. So, okay, clean it up. Then what can you do? Well, you can do things, and we've talked about this on here before. You can eat, like, fermented foods. You can eat kimchi and sauerkraut, and things like that. You can take a probiotic, and that's why it's a part of my gut protocol for the gut reset. Get a good probiotic. Like, you really want to do that. You need to recalibrate your microbiome inside of your gut. Now, the reason why I talk about like the primer, this is the container of the primer, and it just looks like tea is what it looks like. This is not just greens though. And it looks like tea. See how I'm almost done with that one? I got another one waiting in the wings. This has 6 different blends in it that do 6 different things. Digestive enzymes, you know how we're not breaking down our proteins, our carbs, and our fats. We're just not. We create less digestive enzymes the older we get. And then when you have insulin resistance and stuff, it's just another piece of the puzzle of things that don't happen very well. There are prebiotics and postbiotics and alkaline spices because you need an alkaline environment. Bring down that inflammation. Fermented greens, because I'm not eating kimchi or sauerkraut. It's just me. I know a lot of people do. I did have pickles though last night. My daughter made homemade pickles. That was good. And then the last thing is to get your fiber, and they're extracting it from fruits and vegetables. Okay. So a beautiful blend. And that's what's making the testimonies so sweet. I have somebody who she said, I have now been taking it for 1 full month. I have not had one bout of heartburn. Not one. Think about that. Alkaline instead of acidic. Alkaline instead, you're doing it from the inside out. She said, I've not taken one tum. Somebody else said, my bloating is gone. I can get into my jeans that I had not been able to get into. Somebody else, she's the same one that said, I was pooping only every 4 days. Now I'm pooping every day. And the 2 times that I forgot to take it because I was in something for work, I immediately, the one day that I didn't take it, I didn't poop for 2 days. Every time I don't take it, I don't poop for 2 days. That's not good. You want to move the impacted waste through your body. So there are things that you can do. So that's kind of a long answer, but it's also like, this is a comprehensive conversation. And I know we want quick fixes for everything, right? Like who doesn't? But I'm just telling you, there are answers, there are natural answers. And there are, one of my customers, she said, immediately she did not have to use over the counter Dulcolax, or is it Senna? And she was like, game on. She immediately ordered a second tub. Like that was her thing. So yes, it's a 30-day primer, but we're splitting it up. We're playing around, you guys. We're doing 3 10-day resets. We're in one right now, October 1 through 10. Then we'll do one November 1 through 10. Then we'll do one December 1 through 10. And you will have experienced what it's like to take a good gut primer like this, not just greens, but a good gut primer with a probiotic. And take the probiotic all 30 days. Okay. Yeah, you are so welcome. You're so welcome. Anna, good to see you. If nutritional deficiencies then are wasting our time taking supplement suggestions. Okay, well, that's a really, 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 really good conversation. Excuse me. I need a sip of water. You are making a very good point. So one of the major benefits of taking a gut primer like this is that it will help you to absorb your food for nutritional absorption and your supplements. So yes, you are correct. And think about how, number one, when I started to supplement, I had no idea about supplementation. And I certainly had no idea about like making sure I was buying supplements that actually break down in your system. Like that wasn't even like what, like I would have never thought that they didn't. That never dawned on me. But there are studies. They actually did studies of like outhouses during a marathon where they knew that people were taking massive amounts of supplements, and they found many that never broke down into people's systems because maybe they're synthetic, maybe they're just trash. I don't know, whatever. And it's not a regulated situation, so they don't have to prove that anything breaks down. Well, the line that I use, it's literally all coming from plants. So it is organic farms, and then they do third-party testing. So therefore, like in one bottle, that bottle's not open. In one bottle, one pill has to have the exact same amount as this pill over here. Like they all have to be equal. Did you know that doesn't have to be true? So what I take already does break down faster, better. But you're right. You want to increase your absorption of what is breaking down faster and better. That's such a good point. Good thinking on that. What was the question? Okay, hold on. You're so funny. You're a Lebanese food. You're Lebanese? That is totally awesome. Food lover. Terry. See, I'm missing. Oh, hold on. See, StreamYard plays me weird sometimes. Hold on. Okay, you're off this weekend and making the pumpkin roll and the blueberry lemon dessert. Oh, Carla, girl, you are going to have one good weekend. Terry turned 62 today. Happy birthday, Terry. Happy birthday. And you feel so much better than your last birthday. 42 pounds lighter and food cravings are virtually gone. That is amazing. What do you attribute that to the most, Terry? And has it taken you a full year to lose the 42 pounds? The question was, thank you for saying that because I probably didn't read it out loud. The question was, if you are having nutritional deficiencies in your gut, what are my thoughts on the fact that you could be taking supplements and they're not absorbing? If you're having absorption issues, then doesn't that apply also to the supplements that you're taking? And the answer is yes. Just the same as your food. Now, you have a better opportunity to absorb if you're taking a better line, but you do want to realign your gut to make sure that you are having optimal absorption. It changes everything. When you begin to actually absorb these like trace minerals and things that you're deficient in, like it literally changes everything. It can change. That's why when people take, where's my trio? When people take the trio, the 3 supplements that help with insulin sensitivity, when they take this, you're filling in nutritional deficiencies. And that's why people's sugars are going down and then the weight follows, et cetera. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's what happens. You're taking your supplements and others are methylated. Yes. Perfect, Cheryl. Perfect. Terry, I actually, you know what? If you answered me, Terry, and I might not be able to see it because that's what happens on StreamYard. There you go. Oh, thank you. Since March, grain-free, sugar-free, high protein. You began the trio 3 months ago. Everything that I teach works together. Oh, Terry, God bless you. Hey, Carrie. No, never mind. I already she's on Facebook, so I'll be able to screenshot that. Thank you. I'm so glad. So since last March, she's lost, was it 42 pounds? You guys just think about how you can change your life. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. She's going into her 8 months. Where do you want to be in 8 months? You have to ask yourself those questions. There we go. 42 pounds lighter and her food cravings are virtually gone. You guys, I know we think that we're just going to live forever with this food noise. I know that we think that we will live forever with these issues and these concerns. I really do know. I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten that overwhelming feeling of how will I ever trade out my foods when this is so habitual? How will that ever happen? And then her other comment here was this. So she lost those 42 pounds since March. She's grain-free. Please, people, listen to that. Grain-free, just do it. Do it. Grain-free, sugar-free, high protein with food trade-outs. That's what we teach in the group, you guys. Ditch insulin resistance for women, okay? Just to let you know. That's where we do the free challenges. That's where we're doing the gut resets. You can look up that group. You can message me in Messenger. I'm like right there in Messenger. You can message me over on Facebook or on Instagram. I pay attention there also. You began the trio 3 months ago, and then everything that I teach works together. So the trio are 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. I just can't speak more highly of this. This is my only wheelhouse. This is what I know because this is my story. And if anybody needs testimonies, she's a testimony. Hallelujah. She's a testimony. That's fantastic. But she's not the only one. There are more. On the top of my Instagram page, there is a pink highlight bubble, and you can look through all of the testimonies there. I just keep dropping them in. And those are from like this year. I mean, I haven't even gone back the last couple of years. It's just from this year so far. I'll just keep adding. But when you can shift the way that your body is functioning, I'm telling you, that is when you're able to bring down your insulin, bring down your sugars, get your liver up and running, because your liver governs your hormones. Insulin is a hormone, governs your glucose in your blood. Get your visceral belly fat diminishing. Get your metabolism revved up again. You can actually shift things. But look at what she said. She went grain-free. She went sugar-free. Now and she did that for the first few months. Because she's been taking the trio for 3 months. So she started with her food. She did the opposite of me. You're brave. I did not do that, but that's okay. Everybody's got their own journey. No shame in the game, baby, right? You did. So she did her food. Oh, what a great thing. See, now you have a key literally forever. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the roses. Kristen, you're freaking amazing. The green powder that I held up, that is a gut primer. It is not just greens. I know that we're very used to only seeing greens, right? Like that's normal. It's becoming a part of our culture. That's a good thing. But the primer literally has 6 different blends in it. So it's priming the inside of your gut to bring down your inflammation, to create an alkaline environment, to help you like set the stage for your probiotic, set the stage for nutrient absorption. And so the bloating, the moving of impacted waste, all of those things, and your gut and your brain are connected with this is where in your gut, that's where your serotonin is created. That makes you happy. In your gut, that's where your hormone GLP-1 is created. You know, the injections, the GLP injections, it starts in your gut. You can help your gut create more GLP-1. That's the hormone that is messed up because your gut is upside down. Just saying. I get really excited about that because when we find out that there are natural answers and we do not have to be beholden to the matrix, sometimes we have to take stuff. I'm not saying that we don't. But just be mindful then. When you do, it could be creating another deficiency. When you do, depending upon what you're swallowing and putting into your gut, it could be messing up your gut, right? So a lot of people are trying to get off of meds and do less and do more better. Thoughts on bitter melon? Emma, that is such a good question. What do you mean by that? Tell me what you mean by that. I would love to know. You did not, Cheryl, I'm going to write that down that you did not see the trio masterclass, and I'm going to tag you in it. Okay. When I get off today, Cheryl masterclass tag. And again, I did it last December. It's in the group, by the way, you guys. It's in the group and it's in the featured section. I will find it and I will tag you in it for you. See you later, Terry. Happy birthday. Have such an amazing day. And like, just enjoy everything and just allow yourself to be completely celebrated and like make really good memories. Have a very, 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 very good day. That is awesome. Okay. Yeah, I will do that for you, Cheryl. And its correlation with assisting in insulin resistance. Hold on. I'm looking something up because I'm trying to think if I have a connection to bitter melon. I don't think I do. So are you talking about bitter melon in a supplement form, Emma? Is that where that's coming from for you? That's a really interesting question. You guys keep me on my toes. I love it so much. We have to be a community and teach each other, right? It's correlation. Okay. Yes. Okay. I've actually never heard of that, but I'm going to see something. So in my probiotic, the reason why it kind of triggered something for me is because in my stress probiotic, very specifically to help with, well, I'm going to read it so that I just say it the right way. It helps you manage. Okay, this is one of the 2 probiotics that people choose from when they're doing the gut primer. This one container can do the 3 resets, but then take a probiotic every day, all 30 days every month. And you can choose between the one that has 5 strains and it's powder on your tongue, or a pill, which is for stress. And it's literally called, it's a stress probiotic. So it helps you manage occasional stress, support mental focus. It actually helps you to fight your mental fatigue, and it promotes a sense of calm and productivity. Okay. And then, of course, your immunity, but it has a melon concentrate in it. So it's a very specific melon concentrate. That's why I was wondering if there's any kind of a connection, but they're not calling it bitter melon. They're calling it it's actually a patented extramel melon concentrate, which is a powerful antioxidant defense system, plus 2 strains of 18 billion CFUs. So I don't know if that is any connection, but that literally would be the only thing that came to my head, because I've never heard of taking a bitter melon extract or a bitter melon supplement for insulin resistance. So that's very interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. Okay, I see it here. I mean, I can see it like on Amazon and stuff. I've just never heard of it. So I don't know. I don't know. And the thing is that I always go back to this. So the only reason why I don't take berberine is because nobody was talking about berberine 10 years ago. I never even heard of it. Now it's a thing, right? So does berberine help some people? Sure. But I would not have a clue as to the line for you to get it from, right? Just because that hasn't been a part of my world. So I did things with trace minerals and herbs, and I just did it a different way. So the same thing goes for that. Listen, you can go and get anything that you want. Just make sure you're getting it from a company. Find out if they do third-party testing, because seriously, you guys, they can put sawdust in yours. You can think you're doing such a good thing and then wonder why it's not working for you. You know what I mean? You can be marketed anything, any ingredient, but it really is the integrity and the efficacy and the potency and the processes, etc., of the company that's making it. And I'm just going to be really honest. One of the videos that got taken down that I saved, and I was going to do a whole live on it, it was on TikTok, and the guy was sharing. Big shocker here, people. He was literally standing in front of a supplement aisle of a store, and he was saying, this line is made by PHARMA. This line is made by PHARMA. This line is made. And why do most of them have nature in the name? So I'm just saying, you have to be mindful. Anyway, and I know that every single thing that I take is coming off of organic farms. So it makes me feel really good, and it's third-party tested. So I would like to know more about that, though, because that's an interesting ingredient conversation that I've never had before. So that's really, really cool. Julie, I know. Guess what? I'm talking about natural flavoring. Julie was the impetus of this one here. You use bitter melon. How does that work for you, Lori? Do you feel like that's helping you? I've never heard of it. That's really cool. Very, very cool. I just think that everything is multi-layered. And, the only time that just because I talk about the trio, the only time I ever hear about berberine is when somebody says, I'm taking berberine and it's not helping me. or I'm taking inositol and it's not enough. That's when I end up hearing about it, just because of the way that goes. So yes. Anyway. All right. Well, I'm going to go back, see if there's anything else to wrap up, but like literally, you guys, and I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I won't be here tomorrow. I'm on a road trip, baby. Let me see if there's anything else to wrap up. I found that this to be very, very interesting information. There are several surprising and lesser known facts about natural flavorings that most people would never guess. Natural flavors can be sourced from unexpected or unappetizing ingredients. Animal-derived sources, while natural flavors are often thought to be plant-based, they can come from animal sources as well. For example, castoreum is a flavoring that comes from the glands of beavers, and it has been used in vanilla, raspberry, and strawberry flavorings. Exotic ingredients, some natural flavors are derived from unexpected sources like tree bark, fungi, or even insects. While these might not be harmful, most consumers are unaware that natural flavoring could come from such obscure sources. Natural flavors can be highly processed. Even though they start with natural ingredients, these flavors are typically chemically altered, distilled, and purified. The extraction process often involves solvents and additives like propylene glycol, we mentioned that before, benzyl alcohol, or glycerin, which most people won't associate with natural ingredients. Dozens of chemicals might be hidden behind a single natural flavor. So if it's listed on the label, it could be a blend of 50 to 100 chemicals. These chemicals work together to create a particular taste, and only the broad category of natural flavor is listed on the label. The exact chemicals are proprietary, so you never know what you are truly consuming. They can be engineered to be more addictive. Flavor scientists or flavorists design natural flavors to enhance taste and create an almost addictive experience. This can cause consumers to overeat foods that they might otherwise consume in moderation. The balance of sweet, salty, and umami flavors can manipulate our brain's reward system, making processed foods more appealing and harder to resist. Some natural flavors are genetically modified. Even though they're labeled as natural, the source plants or animals could be genetically engineered. This is especially true in the case of plant extracts or flavorings derived from crops like corn or soy. Natural does not mean that it's safe for allergies. They can still trigger allergic reactions. For instance, someone with a citrus allergy might react to a natural citrus flavor, or someone allergic to nuts could react to flavors derived from nut oils or extracts. Since companies are not required to disclose the precise source, it can be hard for those with food sensitivities to avoid allergens. They can be lab created to replicate real foods. The final product is often far removed from the original source. For example, a strawberry flavored drink may not contain any strawberries at all. I think we all know that. Instead, natural flavor chemists create a combination of compounds that mimic the flavor of strawberries without using the actual fruit. Natural and artificial flavors are sometimes nearly identical. In many cases, chemical structures of natural and artificial flavors are also the same. The only real difference may be the source material. For example, the natural vanilla flavor from vanilla beans and artificial flavor from petrochemicals might share the same primary compound, vanillin, but one is labeled natural and the other is artificial, even though they both can taste identical. Natural flavors can mask the taste of synthetic or processed ingredients. They cover up or enhance the taste of low quality ingredients, preservatives, or other additives. They can give the illusion of a fresher, more wholesome product when in reality, the food is far from natural. They are often marketed to appear healthier. That's the last one, healthier than they are. Is a selling point to imply healthiness, but the presence of natural flavors doesn't necessarily mean the product is healthy. Natural flavors are often used in heavily processed, high sugar, or high fat foods, which might not offer any real nutritional benefits despite the natural label. OMG. OMG. Cheryl says OMG. Crazy. Oh, you haven't tried it. Beavers. Julie, beaver, deceptive. I know. Crazy. And actually, I did have my, I didn't realize I had this pulled up. Hold on. There we go. So, okay. So somebody was asking about, here we go. Okay. If you go to I'm kind of jumping around here, but if you go to my site, and I'll show it to you, it's my first last name.com, kirstenliebelt.com. So it's KIRLIE, Kirsten, E-N, Liebelt. It looks like liebelt.com. And it'll look different on a phone, but on a computer, this is what it would look like. You'll see my before and after. And then when you scroll down, one of the first buttons here, this is my number you can text me at. But then the button right under there is the gut. Oh, I can't, it's not touched. I'm used to touch screen. My laptop is touch. My iPad is touch. It'll say 10-day gut reset cart. Okay. So it's a 10-day gut reset cart where you can go ahead and you can actually click on, oopsie, there's a link for you there. And you can find the primer and then the 2 probiotic choices. You do not need both probiotics. Balloons on Instagram. You don't need both probiotics. You only need one. And then the primer, you can split it up into 3 resets if that's what you're wanting to do to reset your gut. And then pick one probiotic and then text me that number if you have a question on which probiotic is best for you. I always forget because see, on TikTok, it's such a weird universe over there because I can't send you guys stuff. So I always have to find these lanes to be able to send you different places because it's like if you can go to my profile and some people don't know how to get to the profile and then or you can go to Instagram and some people don't have Instagram. And so anyway, so it's easier if I just tell you where my site is and then go to the gut reset, 10-day gut reset cart. Like it's not easy. It couldn't be easier to find it. I put it at the top of my my page, my one little page, because that's what we're talking about right now a lot. And then underneath that is the button number 2 is the trio that everybody asks about. So I know, isn't that crazy? The total deception, you guys, total deception. So I'm just telling you though, when you start eating one ingredient foods as much as possible, it eliminates so many issues. Last night, I made my coconut flour cookies. Now, I did use a Watkins almond extract. Now it makes me wonder. I do think Watkins is a good line, though. But anyway, what's in my almond extract? But I made, if you make your own food and it's not that hard, if you make your own cookie, then you don't have to worry about somebody adding something or it having, crap ingredients or whatever, or being hard on or bad for your gut. You don't have to worry about that. So you just make your own stuff. And then it's not hard to make an egg. It's not hard to make bacon. It's not hard to make food that, you've already checked the ingredients. Have a very good day, Carla. Thank you. Yes, I'll take you guys to Louisville with me. And so I won't be live tomorrow, but I'll be in my stories. So if you follow my Instagram or my Facebook stories, I will be over there. Whatever. So that's very exciting. But if you guys need anything, you know where to find me. And especially on Messenger or in my inbox on Instagram. But otherwise, have a really good day. Have a very, very good day. And just know that you can literally do the holidays completely different than you've ever done them before. This can be the year that shifts everything for you. And you do not crash into January 1. You literally land on your feet and you run as you can because you navigated the holidays better. So get into the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Get into the group. You'll get tagged in a free recipe PDF that has some pantry ideas and snack ideas. We're in the middle of a 10-day gut reset. Message me in Messenger if you want some information. And then on October 14th, we're going to start the 5-day challenge. It's our 17th one. We do ingredient trade outs. I do a pantry and a fridge reveal. We do a recipe. We talk about supplements. And we just do it every single month so that every single month you have a track to run on. You need to have a different track. You know, she had said earlier today, Terry had said 42 pounds down since March. She went grain-free, she went sugar-free, and now she's been taking the trio for 3 months straight. 42 pounds down. You guys, you can change the way your body functions. I promise. You're lucky your family respects your food changes. Amen. We will have safe travels. It's hard to have sometimes like food pushers in your life. You have to say no to them. So anyway, all right. Have a super blessed day, you guys. We're going to go drive to the airport and pick up our 12 passenger van so that all of our friends can like pile in and we can have a really fun road trip. So see you later.